What up, YouTube? It's your boy Ray Ray coming from you from Texans 411. And actually, I'm going to go over the Arizona game and then talk about the disaster that is the Houston Texans at this point. Um, Realistically, this season, I mean, statistically, as stupid as this sounds, they're still in the playoffs. Who knows what could possibly happen at this point? I think it's safe to say that we have issues all around the team, and it seems as if Houston has addressed one of those issues, and we'll go over that. So, so for the Cardinals game, for the most part, good game. Kind of, if you see my other videos on my other channel, Ray7224442, you'll understand where I'm coming from this perspective. Realistically, at this point, Houston's O line got absolutely dominated by Arizona's defense. It seemed at first Houston was definitely taking off and doing exactly what they normally do, which is push the ball down the field, and they looked in sync. And next thing you know, it looks like Houston's batteries just died. All of a sudden, offensive line is blown off the ball. Wade Smith doesn't know his ass from his elbow when it comes to blocking. Derek Newton, for whatever reason, is still playing in some offensive line schemes. Though he did not play the whole game, he's still playing, which is incredible considering he cost Houston 7 points by himself. Um, it's it was a nightmare. I mean, everyone had a bad game except Dwayne Brown. Chris Myers got blown off the ball. Brandon Brooks had one of his worst games I think he's ever had. That includes his rookie season, and that's saying something. Um, it seems like Campbell just had these guys' number, and their blitz packages were just too much for Houston to withstand. Dennis Johnson, granted he hasn't been back with the team for a while, but he doesn't know his pickups when it comes to blitzing. Ben Tate, God save that man. He's doing what he can with four freaking ribs, man. I mean, four cracked ribs. You just can't ask more of this guy. J.J. Watt is oh my God, probably the best defensive lineman that has ever played football, bar none. He literally almost won that game for Houston by destroying the freaking halfback and taking the ball from his hand at the end of the game. Oh my God, it was incredible. But he does that every game. 2 sacks, couple swats, couple TFLs, maybe a changed interception, a touchdown, block punt, block field goal. I mean, hell, the sky is the limit for this guy, and he does it constantly against double, triple teams, and goes inside, outside all game long. He's a 3-down lineman. Very few times does this man come out, and he still has a non-stop motor. I can't say enough about that guy. He's the best defensive lineman. Sorry, Geno Atkins. The best defensive lineman in the NFL, hands down. He's on a 2-7 team and still being the top vote getter for Defensive Player of the Year so far in the league. That should just tell you everything you need to know about that guy. Um, I really think DJ Swearinger has finally put it together. Thank God. Finally put it together. He looked like a insane person out on the field. It was a great game for him. Great game for him. He had play after play after play, got his first NFL pick. He almost had a sack at one time. He had a couple TFLs. The guy was everywhere. And they tried staying away from him, and he was still everywhere. Unfortunately, we have linebackers and other corners that can't really cover real well. It seems like at that and in this game. Jonathan Joseph, yeah, he was on Fitzgerald, but Fitzgerald's also coming off an injury and kind of in the last year of his contract. Just really, in my mind, just watching him, he just doesn't give a shit. It's not the Fitzgerald of old, and maybe it's just because he is with Arizona. And I tell you what, I would be surprised if he stayed with them. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he went to like New England or someone that can pay him the kind of money he's going to want. I just don't think he's the same Fitzgerald. Well, Jonathan Joseph contained him. He had it. He had a decent game. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I kind of don't like Jonathan Joseph, and I think Houston should trade him or release him or cut him or whatever the case may be. He had a pretty decent game. Kareem Jackson going down is a devastating blow in my mind. He is the best corner Houston has at this point. Um, McCain showed me why he is a slot corner and not a corner on the outside or starting, because sometimes he just gets destroyed, which is really weird because most of the time he has pretty good games. And then just one play, he has his head up his ass and he gets torched for a touchdown. And I mean, that's kind of the story of our secondary, really. So now that I'm on the secondary topic, let's go to the topic that everyone's probably going to want to talk about: Ed Reed getting released by the Houston Texans. Now, I don't have complete sources on this, and I'm not going to spec. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to speculate. I'm going to tell you exactly why I think he was cut. Houston signed him to be not just an average player. I think that what they were thinking is maybe a pick, maybe 4 or 5 pass deflections, control the center of the field type player, but they did not get that. Shiloh Kao has better stats, almost double your stats, and didn't even start for most games except for the last. It seems like last couple of games. I mean, what do you expect? You're getting, what was he getting? $3 million a year? No, $5 million a year. Getting $5 million a year for an average player. Granted, once again, and I will still stand by this. I thought Houston was getting a steal. I thought, $5 million for someone who's considered one of the best safeties that's ever played. Yeah, he's kind of in the twilight of his year, but anything's better than Glover Quinn. See Detroit for that, by the way. I just I wasn't expecting that. It was kind of hard to stomach, kind of hard to swallow, but it needed to be done. Rumors have it, with my boys that live in Houston, rumor has it Ed Reed was talking shit about the coaches. When realistically, Ed Reed was just doing what everyone knows, but no one wants to say, is that the coaching sucked. We flat out got out coached. I'm almost positive that was what happened. Ed Reed doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that'd be quiet, and nor would I want him to be. But we're already in the midst of a 2-7 season. That is probably one of the last things you maybe should have done. Maybe you were doing it for a motivational tactic. I get that. I understand that, being a defensive person that's played mostly defense his whole career as a football player. I get that. I understand that. But at this point on this team, you should have known when you signed Kubiak, Smith, McNair do not tolerate bullshit. And they will cut your ass despite who you are for something stupid like that, which is what happened. I'm assuming. I don't know the full story. It's kind of, I think, I don't know. If I had to speculate, that would be it, because there's no other reason other than him underperforming and maybe him talking shit or breaking a team rule, which maybe was him talking shit. There's no other reason why Houston would have cut him. Houston's technically down to 3 safeties: Pleasant, Swearinger, Kao. Manning hopefully will be released at the end of the season. I think he is kind of a waste of a contract. And that would mean Houston would probably either need to pick up safety in free agency or draft one, which is an extreme possibility. But I'm not too sure there's too many good safeties in this draft. You don't hear of, other than Clinton Dix, but what are the chances Houston would get him unless they spent the first, their top 5 pick on him, which I don't think he's a top 5 pick. I can tell you that. But I don't know. So what this tells me, or what I guess I'm getting to, is that Houston's heard the call. They said, you know what, season's done. Though statistically we're still in this, it's over. Let's rebuild. Let's start cutting some players, releasing some players, and move the fuck on. And I really hope that's it. I hope this is one of many cuts. If I had to put money on it, I say the next two people that absolutely, definitely are gone, off the top of my head, it's going to be Schaub, then Bullock. If Bullock don't start making kicks, his ass is pretty much gone. I can tell you that. Real quick tidbit on Bullock. I don't know if people are aware of this or understand why. Yeah, he's missed a couple kicks, and realistically, some Houston fans, he's cost us the game. I'm going to give you some statistics real quick, just on Randy Bullock. Of the season, he is 14 of 23. That's 60% with a long field goal of 48 yards. He is literally he's having a rough year, man. It's really that simple. There's no other way to put it. It's just one of those things where you're just like, well, it could get better. Well, let me break it down to you, Houston fans. He's had one kick blocked. Actually, when that ball left his foot, Houston, trust me, you're glad it was blocked because it wasn't fucking going in. Because it was another sideways helicopter UFO bullshit that he somehow manages to kick all the time when he's that far away. From 20 to 39 yards field goals, he's perfect. He's automatic. He's 100%. From 40 to 49 yards, he is 61%. He is 8 of 13. From 50 plus yards, he is 0 of 4. He cannot, which is baffling, because he has a outstanding leg. He has such a great leg. And I would hate to see Houston give up on him so early, but I understand it. They need someone to kick accurate field goals rather than just long field goals. So what this tells me, out of the 23 field goal attempts he's made, or I should say that have been attempted this year, 17 of them have been from 40 to 50 yards. That's an issue number one, because that needs to go. That usually, if you look at NFL kickers, their money is from about 35 to 45, not 40 to 49 or 40 to 50. That's not unrealistic because he's a pro kicker. He's getting paid to kick a fucking football through some uprights. But his stats are so weird. Automatic. 20 from 39, he's 6 of 6. Period. 40 of 49, 8 of 13. 61%. Horrible. 50 plus yards. 0 of 4. And it's not because he doesn't have the leg. Every time he misses it, you see he's got another 20 yards on it. I'm convinced if he kicked it just right, you know what? I won't even say that. I'm convinced that he could kick a 60-yarder easy. I'm not just saying with wind and shit. He's got that kind of leg. He's got like the Sebastian Janikowski type leg, but he just has no accuracy. It's freaking incredible. Anyways, and that's enough on him. But one more thing that I want to kind of talk about real quick is an interesting statistic that one of my friends pointed out to me. Thank you, Stevie. Appreciate it. Did you know if Andre Johnson hits 1,500 yards this season, he would be the only player in NFL history to do it? I've actually looked this up. Jerry Rice almost did it. He missed it by 1 fucking yard and never got to there again. Marvin Harrison only did it once in his career. Megatron has only done it once so far in his career. But if Andre Johnson, which actually he's on pace now that Case is throwing him the ball, is on pace not only to beat his career best at 10 touchdowns in a season, but he's set to break his record that he set last season at the age of 30 or 31. One of those two. Either way, old considering an NFL player. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. If you didn't watch the game against Arizona, let me rephrase this. The best touchdown catch I have ever seen, and I've seen a lot of them, I put it up there with the San Antonio Holmes catch for the Steelers in the Super Bowl when he tips toes and he's like almost vertical or horizontal off the ground. I put it up there with that. One of the best, you know what? Actually, I would say the best corner in the league right now, hands down. Patrick Peterson is all over him. Actually has the ball in one hand and is bringing it down, and Andre snags it from his ass, and somehow manages to get his feet down. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? I'm Go on YouTube, try to find it. It's got to be up somewhere because it was literally one of the greatest catches I've ever seen in my life. Just from a pure standpoint, that not only was he playing offensively, he was technically playing defensively as well because that should have been a pick. That should have been a pick, and Peterson should have got credit for that. Peterson couldn't have guarded him anymore unless he held his arms. I mean, legally speaking, his coverage was incredible, and Andre still made him his bitch. Incredible. Patrick Peterson, nothing against you. You got mad skills, dude. Seriously, but you're going to go up against one of the best receivers to ever play. And if that game didn't open your eyes, I don't know what game will. So this is a little fun fact for you. And once again, this is I'm Ray Ray. I'm coming from Texans 411 station. We're going to actually put up something pretty soon. He's actually working on putting a kind of I guess our top 10 draft choices that we think Houston might go after, depending on what round it is and stuff like that. He's going to throw some videos in there and some highlight videos, and I'm going to do some commentary and stuff like that. But anyways, we'll come back at you with another Houston Texans feed. They play Oakland this week. For the love of God, let us plead Oakland. If not for just the sake of beating Oakland, do it for Kubiak or something. I don't know. Find a way to win this fucking ball game, man. It's that simple. Anyways, this is Ray Ray from Texans 411. Peace.